Over 500 people. Families, elders, children, homes and livestock. All gone in a single chilling night. No screams, no bodies, no clues. Just eerie silence. What could possibly erase an entire village from the face of the earth? Without a warning, without a sound. Was it a curse? An ancient force buried deep beneath their feet? Or was something watching them, something waiting? Something old. Something with purpose. And now, it's hungry again. And this time, it might not stop with just one village. This isn't just some urban legend passed down around a flickering campfire. This is a real, documented incident that continues to haunt investigators, historians, and locals alike. Tucked deep in the dense, whispering wilderness of redacted region, there once stood a secluded village, self-sustaining, untouched by modern distractions, and rooted in centuries-old customs and rituals. For generations, its people lived in harmony with the land and each other. They celebrated the changing of the seasons, worshipped forgotten gods, and protected ancient secrets passed from elder to child. Then one freezing night, they vanished. Every last one of them. No cries for help. No last messages. No struggle. Just absence. The worst part? The silence that followed wasn't natural. It was oppressive, suffocating, like the air itself had been drained. Even when government officials came to investigate, they left with more questions than answers, and rumors suggest they discovered things they were never meant to see, never meant to understand. Some even say those who entered the village never truly left. And the ones who did, they were never quite the same again. The mystery began unfolding when a group of seasoned hikers, lost in the forest and desperate for shelter, stumbled across what appeared to be a perfectly preserved village. At first, they believed it to be abandoned for years. But what they found told a more disturbing story. Food sat fresh on dinner plates. Tea still warm in cracked porcelain cups. Fires and hearths had only recently burned out. Dogs roamed, restless and alert, growling at shadows no one could see. Curtains swayed despite closed windows. The clocks ticked, but not a single person remained. It was like life had hit pause, and forgot to hit play again. Authorities were called in. Police. Emergency response units. Even agents from unnamed departments. What they uncovered sent shockwaves across the region. There were no signs of a struggle, no footprints leaving the village, no indication of mass evacuation. Communication lines were dead. Radios were silent. No forced entries, no signs of violence, no evidence of illness or contamination. The entire place looked paused, like time had simply stopped for its residents, mid-sentence, mid-breath, mid-thought. Even the livestock remained in their pens, unfed, yet strangely unharmed. The focal point of their unease lay in the village square, where a massive, perfectly circular burn mark had been etched into the ground. Not scorched by flame, but marked in a way that was unnatural, too clean, too symmetrical. No accelerants were found. No trace of a fire, explosion, or heat source. Just a blackened symbol seared deep into the soil. Experts were baffled. Scientists brought in their equipment, but it failed mysteriously. Batteries drained instantly. GPS devices and compasses spun without control. Laptops fried. Many researchers left abruptly, claiming the area was electromagnetically hostile. Others whispered of something far worse. Something watching them, measuring them. The news couldn't be contained. Despite government efforts to silence the event, media caught wind of the vanishing, and chaos followed. Paranormal researchers, conspiracy theorists, and thrill-seeking journalists flooded the area, all eager to uncover the truth behind the disappearance. Theories flooded social media and online forums. Some claimed it was a secret government weapon test, one designed to eliminate life without damaging structures. Others suggested the village was built atop a thinning barrier between dimensions, and on that night, it was pulled into another realm. The strangest part? Residents from neighboring towns reported strange occurrences leading up to the event. Weeks before the disappearance, villagers were said to have seen glowing orbs floating in the sky, just above the tree line. A deep, mechanical hum echoed through the valley every night at the same time. Livestock became increasingly restless, refusing to enter barns. Children spoke of a shadow man, a towering figure with arms like tree branches and a face that wasn't there. Dogs barked not at the trees, but at the earth. Birds flew in circles before dropping dead midair. And then just silence. The kind of silence that feels alive. Heavy, intentional. Those brave or foolish enough to investigate the empty village didn't stay long. Paranormal teams who attempted overnight stays left the following morning, pale and shaken. They spoke of whispers echoing from nowhere, of mirrors fogging up with breath. One camera crew captured a brief frame of something peering from an attic window, a figure with elongated limbs and a hollow stare. That footage vanished mysteriously a day later, wiped from every known drive and backup. Electrical interference, or something more sinister. No one could say. One award-winning journalist, who insisted on staying for 3 nights, was later found barefoot and delirious 10 miles from the village perimeter. Her only words, repeated over and over in a flat, emotionless voice, were, "It woke up. It remembers. It's under the skin now." Her eyes were blackened, not bruised, but as if something inside her had taken root. Old locals started coming forward. With heavy hearts and hesitant tongues, they spoke of ancestral warnings, of sacred grounds never to be touched. They mentioned the Watcher beneath, an entity older than humanity itself. For centuries, the village elders had honored a pact, never to disturb the hill west of the village. But in recent months, expansion efforts led to that very land being tilled for crops. The warnings were ignored. The consequences? Immediate and irreversible. One elder said, "We didn't build the village near it. We built it to watch it. And we failed." There was another clue that went unnoticed initially. In the local temple, hidden behind a false panel, investigators discovered a set of ancient scrolls. They were brittle, written in an archaic dialect, but translated roughly to a prophecy. "He who wakes the deep shall hear no screams, for silence is his song. He shall drink from the pulse of the earth, and all shall be made still." One expert on ancient lore, after reading the scrolls, quietly quit his job and disappeared from public view. Then came the discovery that changed everything. During a private geological survey, one that was not sanctioned by local authorities, contractors unearthed a hidden chamber directly beneath the village square. Protected by ancient stone doors, sealed tight with age and purpose. Once opened, the air that escaped was thick, humid, metallic, and alive. Carvings lined the walls, malformed beings, spirals etched endlessly, and figures bowing before a faceless monstrosity that at the chamber's heart stood a black statue. Obsidian. 8 feet tall. It looked almost human, if humans were nightmares. Its limbs twisted unnaturally, its form defying anatomy. Its face was a void, smooth, blank, and impossibly cold to the touch. Surrounding it were strange relics, bundles of feathers dipped in pitch, bone fragments painted with symbols, and small jars filled with dark, clotted fluid that pulsed faintly under light. Military forces quickly intervened. The chamber was sealed. The land fenced off. Locals were told it was due to dangerous geological instability, though no tremors or quakes were ever recorded. Whispered reports spoke of researchers being reassigned or silenced. One archaeologist claimed before disappearing entirely that the statue wasn't made, it was summoned. The only known survivor from the village, an old man who had moved to the city weeks prior, shared what his grandfather used to warn. Beneath the soil sleeps a hunger. It doesn't devour with teeth. It unthreads the soul. If awakened, it won't roar. It'll whisper, and everything will vanish. And it did. The village still stands, silent and smothered by vines, its windows dark, its air cold and unmoving. It's as if the land itself mourns, as if the ground breathes with pain. No bones. No signs. No closure. All government documents remain sealed. Theories continue, but no truth has emerged. Some say the village broke a pact older than memory. Others believe it slipped into another plane of existence. A few think the entity beneath merely took back what was offered. Or worse, took what wasn't offered. Today, even satellite images glitch when focused on that region. Weather reports show sudden fog and electronic equipment malfunctions during flyovers. Something about the land doesn't want to be seen. Doesn't want to be known. One fact remains undeniable. An entire community disappeared without a trace. And something unnatural, perhaps unknowable, was awakened in the process. Whatever happened in that village, whatever lurks beneath, has left behind a silence louder than any scream. A silence that spreads. A silence that remembers. And it's waiting for another voice to echo back. So, what do you think happened that night? Let us know your theory in the comments. And if you dare, check out our next video, where a forbidden forest traps anyone who steps beyond the tree line.